Well, a big time commitment in Tuscaloosa. A big flip as Keon Keeley, a five-star edge rusher, has chosen the Crimson Tide. What's going on, everybody? Christian Ballard of Ballard Sports Media coming at you live today on YouTube only, not live on Facebook this afternoon. We wanted to talk a little bit with news about Alabama flipping Keon Keeley. And you probably noticed by the title, can Georgia, why Georgia? We'll get to that in a second. Can Georgia surpass Alabama for the number one class in 2023? You know, when I look at these team rankings, and let me pull them up here, it's kind of close in a way. Georgia's catching up. Georgia is catching up. They are down 2 commits against what Alabama has. Alabama currently with that number one class. And, of course, coming up next Wednesday, we have, the early the early signing day period begins. And Alabama has 25 commits, 3 3-stars. Georgia has 23 commits and 2 5-stars. So the question is, can Georgia, because I don't think anybody else, I mean, who's next? Notre Dame with 26. But the point, it's not about the number of commitments. It's about the recruiting aspect of it. The 5-stars, the 4-stars, the 3-stars. They only have 1 5-star, 21 4-stars, 4 3-stars. Big question is, can Alabama be stopped? You know, it wasn't that long ago. In fact, it was a year ago, at least to start out. Texas A&M signed the best class ever, having the highest number of points. The highest number of points. Let's go back to that year for a second. What did they have? 333, and it wasn't even close between them and Alabama. They signed the best ever class. Now, Alabama has a long way to go to hit 333. They need 334 or 333.2 or something just to surpass Texas A&M. They need a lot of flips, commitment flips. So I don't think this is going to be the best class ever. It will be the best Alabama's ever had, for sure. But it probably won't be like what Texas A&M bought last year. Or signed, I'm sorry. Hold on, give me a second. There we go. So it won't be what Texas A&M had. It's going to be special for Alabama. And we're a few years removed from, like, this should show the aspect of really high school football. Alabama signed the best class ever a couple years ago, before A&M last year. Then A&M does it again. We have this best ever recruiting class, but it's in the hands of Jimbo Fisher. Is it possible we see that for a third straight time, but with a different team? Or the same team? Could we see it with Alabama? I don't know. It's interesting. It's something to keep an eye on. But again, we'll see. What's up to the chat? What's up, Jacob? Yeah, prayers for Mike Leach, definitely. What's up, Slim? What's up, Sorgy? Good to see you guys. Come on. What's next? Let's see. So it's a huge deal that Alabama flipped Keon Keeley today. And there were rumors this week. There have been rumors for the past couple months. Is it what Alabama is building and has built? Yes, in a way that's what it is. But why? Why would you flip from a certain school? You know, why do you leave a certain school? He was originally committed to Notre Dame. Why does a 5-star commit to Notre Dame? Why does he ultimately decide almost last minute that he's going to flip? Why is that? Well, there's been coaching changes. There's been downfall at Notre Dame with Marcus Freeman. There's been some downfall. It's taken a bad turn, a bad toll. No one wants to go to that. Exactly, Sorgi. Thank you. They lost to Marshall because they lost to Marshall. No offense to Marshall. That's a historic school, historic football program, by the way. Go watch We Are Marshall if you haven't. And just downfall for Notre Dame. I think they ended up 8-4, which isn't it. It's not where Notre Dame needs to be at 8-4. I mean, there are teams that would kill to have 8 wins. There are teams that would kill to we only lost 4 games. Only 4. There's teams out there that would kill to have that record. Notre Dame is a historically, precedented program that is better than 8-4 or 9-3. You get it. So anyway, that's not the point of this live stream. The point of this live stream is because I don't think Notre Dame is going to get any higher. I don't see anyone else jumping. I don't see Texas is doing great. They got Arch Manning, blah, blah, blah. You got Miami down there somewhere. You got Ohio State. You got LSU. You got Oklahoma, Clemson. These teams are probably going to stay where they are. They might flip. They might fall a little bit. But like a team like Florida is not going to magically pop in the top 10. Ohio State's not going to jump the top 3, I don't think. I think it'd be historic to see that this next week. And the question is this, and this goes to Kirby Smart. Can Georgia surpass Alabama for the number 1 class in 2023? Georgia is the next in line program right now. I have, yes, I've heard about Mike Leach, Jacob. I've been praying and reading up on it. So here's the thing. Georgia is on top of college football right now in terms of they are the defending champs. They're the number 1 team going into the playoffs. They had a Heisman finalist for a quarterback. But Kirby is not Nick Saban. Not yet, at least. He still has a lot of work to do. But how do they? What's up, George Bulldog Will? See, Bulldog Will says we can pass your recruiting class. I think it could happen too. But you know how many flips you have to get? You'd have to flip half of our 4 stars and at least 1 5-star, I think. Maybe I'm doing that math wrong, and if so, I apologize. Alabama's up by 13 points over Georgia right now, which is good for Alabama. Maybe Georgia's looking at it saying no big deal. What does Georgia have to do? They got a loaded class, too. They really do. A.J. Harris from Phoenix City, Alabama. Samuel Pemba is an edge 5-star committed last week from IMG Academy. Those are their 2 5-stars. You know what Georgia doesn't have in their class is a quarterback. They got some offensive tackles. You know, I'll tell you this. If I were a recruit, let me put it to you this way. If I'm a recruit right now, where am I going in college football? You're probably going to Alabama. Or if you want to look at how this season has gone for a defending national champion in Georgia, you probably take it to Athens. You probably look at the talent level, the coaching aspect, and what Kirby Smart has built and done. You look at it that way, you're probably taking your talent to Georgia. You know, but I don't know. I'm getting a little confused and off track. If like you go to Georgia, you go to Bama, you go to Ohio State, you go to Clemson, you go to programs that are consistently making the college football playoff, making championship appearances, putting talent in the NFL. You go to those type of programs. And yeah, I mean, I'm going to drop a StreamYard link. Someone get on here. Help me carry this show. I've said what I've needed to say. I think, I mean, you want to go if you're a 5-star recruit, which there's a lot of them out there. I mean, the talent out of high school is just getting better and better. You want to go where you can win a national championship. Georgia last year proved it. And because they haven't fallen off this year yet, they're proving it today. Alabama is still Alabama. And that's it. Alabama and Georgia right now. Clemson has fallen off. Can they get back next year with Cade Klubnik? We'll see. What about Ohio State? What's after CJ Stroud? Does he go pro? What's not true, Slim? You talking about what I just said about a 5-star wanting to win a championship? I'm pretty sure players still want to win championships today. Now, unless you're saying that because of like NIL or something, NIL is taking a toll, and I freaking hate it. I can't stress that enough. Gosh. What's up, Slim?
All right, Ballard, I'm going to need you to pay a little more attention to recruiting. Okay?
All right.
Just say for the sake of argument that Miami gets the 2 commits that they're supposed to get this week. We're all of a sudden number 3 in the country. So who's to say Miami can't surpass you? If we get the offensive lineman Sampson and Reuben Bain both, which they're both projected to commit to Miami, Miami's number 3. They're jumping up 5 spots with those 2 commits. And they're not done. So, yes, these numbers absolutely can change. If Billy Napier has a late resurgence, yes, they can get in the top 5 easily.
I mean, I never exactly said that it couldn't happen.
That's literally what you just said. You're coming up here and you're saying Alabama and Georgia are it, and there's nobody else, and that's just false.
I was just doing speculation, sir, that those are the two programs right now that, are consistently taking the talent that they get and putting them in a championship type of situation. I was just saying that these two teams, to me personally, in my opinion, I don't think anyone's going to jump them this year. I think you could have 1 and 2 and they could flip, but I don't think anyone's really necessarily going to get up there and jump them. I'm not saying it can't happen.
Yes, absolutely, Clemson can jump them. Yes, absolutely, Ohio State can jump them. And to think otherwise is ridiculous.
I got you.
I mean, Miami's flushing your theory down the toilet that a team consistently in the playoffs or consistently putting dozens of players in the NFL every single year, that's automatically where recruits are going to go. Obviously not. Miami just went 5-7. And they're going to finish somewhere in the top 5 more than likely. At the very least, top 10. And that's assuming they don't get any more flips. They've got a 5-star wide receiver committed to Ohio State. Will be on campus this weekend.
Yeah. And Miami, too. I have checked out their class. They do have 2 5-stars, and Cormani McClain, which is a big one, and then Francis Mauigoa in the offensive tackle.
I'm not even attempting to mispronounce his name.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying any of it's going to happen.
Right.
But, I mean, we've seen it happen before. But you're up here saying it. I don't know if you realize you're saying it or not, but what you are insinuating is nobody else has a chance.
Well, that's not what my intention has been to say.
But that's what you are saying.
Okay.
And I mean, like I said, I'm just using Miami as an example, but to think Florida can't do it, Clemson can't do it, hell, even Texas. I mean, I'm sure Arch Manning is helping to recruit more players to Texas. And as good as he is, it's going to make some players want to come to Texas. There's no reason why they can't.
That's true. Because you still have some of the top players out there and even 5-stars out there that are still have yet to commit. There's Damon Wilson is a edge that's a 5-star. Now he's projected to Ohio State. What happens if Ohio State gets him? I mean, Ohio State could jump up there.
Absolutely.
I get what you're
saying.
saying.
I mean, here's just, the truth here. Georgia can be ranked wherever, and for me, I mean, we still got the best high school talent evaluation out of anybody. So wherever we're ranked is wherever we're ranked, and I know Kirby's getting the best players possible for us.
But I think we can jump Bama, though. I really think we can.
And if we don't, we don't. I still take our class over Bama's because it's players Kirby's got. So.
And I think Miami could jump up too.
I think they can. I'm not saying whether they will or not. I don't know. I take all of it with a grain of salt until they actually put pen to paper.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And Ballard, you know that Georgia can flip Justice Haynes and Caleb Downs, right?
I am worried about that. See, that's the thing is you have a commitment is saying for right now, this is where I want to go. There's been talk lately about Peter Woods, who's committed to Clemson, and if Alabama could flip him. We have signing day in a week. Next week, a little bit over that. But I know that flips can happen, and flips happen all the time on signing day.
Yeah, and these classes are not finalized, but like I said, I'll take the players Kirby's got over anybody else's.
And I also think you're falling into the trap of looking at stars and only stars.
Yeah.
Because there's literally hundreds of examples of 3-star guys that turn into first round draft talent.
Jordan Davis.
Exactly. And I mean, you can name plenty on any team. So I think it goes beyond stars, like I said, to talent evaluation. As far as finding developmental guys or finding those diamonds in the rough that everybody else isn't necessarily looking at. But I mean, like you said with Jordan Davis, or I mean, look what he turned out to be. Nobody wanted Santana Moss. I mean, that's one of the best receivers ever to play the game.
Yep.
So I mean, you can find them at any program. Perfect example, that that quarterback at Bama in 2020. What was his name?
Paul Tyson.
Paul Tyson? Or
No.
Mac Jones.
Mac Jones?
Mac Jones, yeah. Mac Jones was 3-star. And I mean, absolutely lit up defenses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a ton of 3 stars and walk-ons starting with Georgia compared to.
Y'all remember?
Stetson's a walk-on.
Well, I think you also have to look at, you were asking why guys decommit or flip from one school to another. I think it also depends on the situation at the school. And I'll just use this as an example. Miami had a 4-star quarterback decommit and decide to go to Florida.
Yeah.
Well, and not 3 days later, it was announced that both quarterbacks would be returning to Miami. Well, it makes a whole lot more sense that he's going to decommit when you have 3 4-stars on the roster above him. He's going to be, bringing up sucking hind tit as far as trying to get play time.
Yeah. I mean, we got tons of 3-stars, and these 3 stars are, I mean, they're pretty much underrated, but you never know. They could really turn out to be really good players. So that's what I'm hoping for.
Well, it depends on, a multitude of things. Can your coaching staff develop? Do they?
Oh, yeah.
Does their skill set fit particularly well with whatever scheme you're running? Because I think Texas A&M kind of proves that you can get all the 5 stars in the world, but if those guys don't fit into what you're trying to do, what good has it done you?
Yeah, it's like I could care less about the recruiting class we get. What I'm saying is if these guys can develop and be really good players, that's what I'm hoping for. I don't care if we have the number 1 recruiting class or not. I just care that these guys can develop and become really good players.
Now, I think that's not to say that, you can have the 20th ranked class and you're going to compete for a national title. I mean, it goes without question the guys that are competing and getting in the playoffs are top 5 to top 10 every year.
Yeah. I got you. Ballard, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I was reading a comment here. Matt T-Sipper says, I would rather have a team of a bunch of kids with love for their school and a passion to win than a bunch of 5-stars that don't care.
Exactly.
It's not to say that the rankings don't matter.
Go ahead.
It's not to say the rankings don't matter. I mean, typically, for a reason, the national champions have all had high-rated classes. But,
Correct.
at the same time, it also goes in evaluation and development and everything else.
Yeah.
Well, I also think, too, I don't have a problem with what Matt T. Sipper said, but he's looking at it from a fan perspective, and these players are not necessarily fans for the most part. They're not going to have, in general, they're not going to have the passion for it that you do being a fan of the team. Now, some of them do, absolutely, especially like legacy players and stuff like that, but the majority don't. To the majority, it's a business decision as far as their future.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. That's kind of what it is down in Miami.
I mean, you can't win a national title on signing day, but you can definitely lose one if you don't get a good recruiting class.
And I know our recruiting class will be up there, but what I said before is like I just want these guys to develop and get better. That's what Georgia's all about. These players develop well, and then they become really good.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, some may become really good players in the NFL.
Men of 3 stars and walk-ons that started for us. We're definitely all about that.
I mean, hell, last year's everybody that went into the draft, we had so many guys go into the draft last year. That's how great these players develop. That's what's great about Georgia. And that can happen in Alabama, too, and Miami.
And you turned, I'll give you props here. You took a walk-on, no-name quarterback, and he was just in New York a few days ago as a Heisman finalist.
He was, yes.
Well, let's be honest. He didn't have a shot at winning that.
Well, we know, but, come on. Give him props.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm not taking that away from him. I mean, I'll say this.
Thanks,
sure, if you just look at his passing numbers and record, but, I mean, is anybody going to argue that Stetson Bennett is a better quarterback than Hendon Hooker?
No.
No, nobody is.
Or Drake May.
Yeah. There's no way of arguing that.
Stetson's done good for us, and hopefully gets our national title, and then we'll move on to next guy up.
I feel like Hooker, if he didn't get injured, he would have been top 4 for Heisman. He would have been.
Well, I mean, his numbers are still better than Stetson's, and he got hurt.
I think, I think he was kind of robbed, but you know what? I'm just glad Stetson was there.
Well, I mean, let's be honest, though. We all know what the Heisman is. It's a damn popularity contest for a top 5 to fringe top 10 team.
That's true.
And quarterbacks. I mean.
Yeah, I mean, it really is a quarterback award. I mean, every once in a while they'll throw a running back or a wide receiver a bone.
Yeah, like Derrick Henry, Devontae Smith,
right?
Mark Ingram, Herschel.
Probably better to call it an offensive award, basically, at this point, because I'm not even sure if a guy like Charles Woodson could win it again.
Was he like the last?
Is the crap? The last time we had a defensive guy win it, because it was
Charles Woodson.
It was Woodson. That's why I brought him up.
Okay.
But I mean, a comparable player in college would have been Devin Hester, and he didn't even get a look.
Yeah.
Because I mean, both of them played corner, and both of them were exceptional return men. I mean, that's why Woodson got it. Being a defensive player, because he had all those returns.
I mean, if he didn't get injured and suspended, Todd Gurley could have won it.
Possibly.
Yeah, he could have.
Yeah, and Woodson was 97, by the way. So you have to go back
25
years.
Damn.
And all you hear from the Tennessee fan is, "Oh my God, Peyton Manning should have won it." You know.
I don't need it. Whatever. Hey, he won a Super Bowl to end his career. That's good enough.
I mean, you have the Tennessee fans mad at Michigan that year because Peyton Manning didn't win. You have the Michigan fans mad at Tennessee for voting Nebraska #1 in the coaches poll.
Well, look at it like this, and this is there were a lot of Miami fans mad that Ken Dorsey didn't win it. Well, okay, Ken Dorsey faced the Heisman Trophy winner in the national title game, and that game was 35-0 at halftime. So you can have the Heisman. I don't care.
Yeah. We faced the Heisman Trophy winner last year.
Oh, yeah, we did.
Exactly.
And we beat him.
Yeah, we get it.
We faced the Heisman
All right,
Trophy
Ballard.
winner in 2017.
It's all right, Ballard. Don't worry.
Beat him.
It's all right.
Yeah, don't worry about
Yeah,
it. It's
you
all
did.
right.
Baker Mayfield in 2017. I just heard you say. I remember that.
Oh, yeah, that's another one. There you go.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Well, and I mean, look at all these Heisman Trophy winners that end up going to the NFL. It's no, determining factor.
Devontae Smith's doing okay.
Well, so far, but I mean,
Derrick Henry's still doing good.
I don't think you've ever had one win a Super Bowl though.
I mean, okay, but I mean, he's doing like good. Like he's averaging a lot of yards per rush.
Yeah, nobody's knocking Derrick Henry, but I'm still saying it doesn't necessarily equate to success at the next level. Is my argument.
That's true. I mean, I understand that.
We beat Tim Tebow his Heisman year too.
That's right.
Yeah, Tim Tebow won it twice, and his NFL career didn't last 8 years.
He only won it once.
I mean,
Okay.
the team that he did the only team he did like well on in the NFL was the Jets because he didn't do well with the Patriots.
He didn't do well.
Well, I mean, he I would say he did better with the Broncos, but
he was all right on the Jets.
I mean, he won a playoff game for the Broncos.
He didn't do too well with the Jaguars as a tight end, though.
That was just mean. That was mean, Ballard.
Why, Ballard? Why you got to do that? Don't let us channel.
I was just making a joke. Like, I thought that was the weirdest thing last year.
Yes, but he doesn't even get looked at if Urban Meyer's not the coach.
How much do you got to move your phone? Jesus Christ, it sounds like sandpaper. Jesus Christ. Oh, now he left. But yeah, Tim Tebow, he didn't really have too good of a career just by winning that playoff game for the Broncos.
Like I said, I don't think you've had one.
Lasted almost 2 hours.
Say it against them.
I was about to say, I don't think you've had one ever win a Heisman winner, at least quarterback, win the Super Bowl. And you can go back and you've had some win. What was it called? The NFL championship or whatever it was called. This was before
the AFL championship, whatever that was.
It was before the merger.
Wait, but Joe Namath, he didn't win Heisman.
No.
Okay.
Broadway Joe? No.
Yeah, he won the AFL championship for the Jets in 1969.
No, that was a Super Bowl.
Yeah, true. Yeah, true. It was a Super Bowl. But it was still the AFL and NFL, and Jets were AFL. I'll say this: Georgia's they've gotten some good recruits. Not for this class, but I've heard like the 2024 class so far is looking pretty good. But I'm trying to focus on this class.
Well, I mean, they're number 2 in this class, so it's hard to say that they're not good.
Yeah. Oh no, they're doing great. They're doing absolutely great. And ever since Kirby's gotten there, we've been in like the top 10 usually, or every year. 2016.
I mean, I'm just not trying to take it for granted the way I'm looking at it, especially after a 5-7 season. I'm looking at it as a minor fucking miracle that Mario's staring down the barrel of a top 5 class.
Yeah.
Again, but you might get a top 5 class, but you got to develop those players so they can get better.
Right.
So that's what Miami needs to do this upcoming season if they get that top 5 class. No, depending on what class they get. Doesn't matter. Just develop them.
Well, and I'm fairly certain he will, because even Dan Lanning said it at a couple points this year. You know, the some of the success you were seeing him have is because of the work Mario put in there.
Yeah. Yeah, credit tomorrow, yeah. Trying to think how Oregon's defense was this year. Yeah.
Decent.
Yeah, decent. But Dan Lanning
Wasn't anything special.
No, but Dan Lanning is a great defensive coordinator coming from Georgia, though.
Yeah. Speaking of Oregon, you mentioned Oregon. An Alabama receiver yesterday, Trayshawn Holden, made his decision
to transfer.
Well, he's been in the portal, but yeah, he transferred to
Oregon.
To Oregon. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I heard about that. Yeah, I think On 3. I think On 3 reported about that.
Well, I mean, for all the complaining we've heard about Alabama's receiving core, does anybody really want any Alabama's receivers?
I don't know. Probably not. Yeah, but we trust y'all with Jermaine Burton over there.
He's actually done okay.
Yeah, he's done. Yeah, I'm glad.
He's just not. I mean, he's just not a deep threat guy. I mean, he's a quick slant over the middle or some little screen pass. I don't know, but he's not very explosive, but he's not bad. I mean, I have no complaints about him.
Did you guys not get Gibbs involved in the screen passes?
And Jahmyr Gibbs has been their best weapon this year.
What's that?
I said, did y'all get Jahmyr Gibbs involved with the screen passes?
Yeah.
Some said he's been your best weapon this season. I would say that's true. Yeah,
Believe it or not, that's true. I mean, we had a Georgia Tech transfer. Yeah.
Well, he came to the right place, I should say. Get out of Atlanta.
Well, I mean, look specifically to that Tennessee game. I mean, Bryce Young and Jahmyr Gibbs were it.
Yeah. Nobody else was really doing it. Nobody else was doing anything. And then it was on Tennessee's side. I mean, it was freaking Hendon Hooker and Jalen Hyatt connecting many times and four touchdowns.
Yep.
There was Will Anderson. What was that award that Will Anderson got after this season?
Bendicart, or how do you say it?
Whatever it was, I think Jalen Carter should have gotten it.
Chuck Benrick.
How did Jalen Carter not get it? That was what I was thinking. Man.
Jalen Carter will still be. I mean, he might be a first round talent and everything, but
Oh yeah. He will be.
it's
He's got a bright future. He really has a bright future. I also can't wait to see what Nolan Smith does in the NFL because it was sad losing him for the season, but I think he's gonna he has good things up ahead for him.
yeah.
And Alabama, Will Anderson, he's got a bright future for himself too. They all got
Oh
bright
yeah,
futures.
top 10 draft pick
Oh
could
yeah,
go to a good team,
if the Bucks
for
get
him. And who
Bucks
do
need
the
to
Bucks
find.
get?
They need an offensive line.
the Jets
Big
hope
time.
got to get the Jets got to get one of their offensive linemen back. We've had too many injuries on the offensive line this season. It's ridiculous.
Shit, all of ours came before the season started.
How did the NFC?
Had the NFC what?
Man, how did the NFC turn? The NFC South turned into the NFC East real quick.
And then the NFC East is like the best division in the NFC.
It is.
I'll tell
Did
you
a
one thing.
complete 180.
Here's what it is. It's the NFC East and the AFC East. Those are the two best divisions right now in football in the NFL.
Yeah, yeah.
It's crazy. The AFC East was always like Buffalo. It was expected to be, Buffalo locks up the division, and then it's just a fight for who's going to get into the playoffs. Right now, that's kind of what it is, actually. I think Buffalo's kind of locking up the division, and it's going to be a fight for who gets into the playoffs. I think the Dolphins will make it, but I think the Jets and the Patriots are fighting.
Yep.
At least y'all are still better than the Falcons, though.
Well, Tampa's still going to win the division more than likely, but I mean, you know, the the defense isn't looking as good without Todd Bowles having direct authority over them, and I mean, between the offensive line, Brady's decline, balls bouncing off of Mike Evans's face mask,
Yeah.
and Chris Godwin, his first games back after destroying his knee, just hasn't looked good this year.
The offense
And then,
came.
and then Julio Jones is exactly what I thought he would be. He can't stay healthy because that's been
Exactly.
Julio Jones for years now.
That is true. Thing with the Bucks is though, you guys the offense stepped up against the Saints on a Monday Night Football in that comeback win.
They did.
Oh yeah.
They sure didn't step up against San Francisco on Sunday,
Oh
though.
my God, a third string quarterback? Jeez. Traveling.
Yeah. Brady should have retired. Well, should have stayed retired. Let me put
He
it like
should
that.
have. He's not doing too well, and his life in general is not too well either.
Y'all think this will be it though? Like, is this his last year or?
Yeah, more than likely, yes.
Honestly, I think
He's got to realize it himself that he's just getting up there.
I got it. I think he's gonna retire before Aaron Rodgers retires.
Well, Aaron Rodgers is fixing to ride out that massive contract, and then he's going to go.
Yeah, then once that contract's up, then that's it.
Yeah.
No, I think Brady's going to go collect his $350 million from Fox Sports, and after whatever playoff run they make is over, he's done.
Wasn't Brady involved with that whole thing with FTX? I think something like that.
Oh, he lost money on it, like a lot of people did. Yeah.
Yeah. Things are not going well for Brady.
Well, I mean, I don't think he's hurting to keep the lights on in his house.
Yeah. I think he's just playing football still because that's what makes him happy right now. Because if he's not playing football, then what's going to make him happy now that he's divorced now, you know?
He'll be sitting on Fox Sports talking about football. He's already signed the contract.
Oh, there you go. That's the truth. Just become a color commentator, Tom.
And now that he's divorced, he'll be, 45 years old and running around fucking a bunch of 20-year-olds.
Jeez.
Because tell me I'm lying.
We'll see, son. Oh. What do y'all think about Mike White, our new quarterback?
I've seen the Jets a little bit this year with Mike White. They've looked okay.
I'd be lying if I said I watched him at all. Dude, when it comes to NFL, I'll watch Tampa games if they're on my TV. If not, I don't watch any of it.
Oh, I've watched every Jets game this season, so I haven't missed a single play. Or no, I have missed some plays because the stream kind of stopped working.
Hey, y'all had a close one with the Vikings.
Oh yeah, that was all. We all started celebrating. I was at a sports bar with a bunch of Jets fans. We all started celebrating because we thought Barrios caught it, but he dropped it in the end zone, and then we're like, "You got to be kidding me!"
Right.
Braxton, he had a catch today. He's doing well.
That's it.
Yeah, he was a good player in Miami.
Oh, I wouldn't mind having him back. He was sure-handed.
Yeah, he's very good on kick returns. That's a thing. And
yeah.
I saw him fair catch a bunch of them. I'm not sure how many of them I actually saw him return.
Hey, the problem with him now is he doesn't fair catch them. He lets them bounce all the time, and then the Bills yesterday, like I think 2 times, were able to down the ball like inside the 5-yard line. Like Braxton, all for fair catch, man. That's what irritated me. But it was raining.
So what's going on with your coach, Ballard? Because he really seems like his mind's starting to slip.
Saban.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've kind of noticed that this year. I don't know.
He's got a handler in press conferences to keep him from straying too far off.
I saw that. Yeah, he's. Damn.
Wasn't there a video of him like dancing at like some sort of party?
Yeah.
What was that?
I never saw that.
He was celebrating for a recruit.
So you do all that. And then what was that during the Auburn game? What was that mark on his face?
It looked like he got punched or something.
Yeah, he thought he'd get lippy with a defensive lineman, and he found out he can't get lippy with him no more.
Yeah. That's a lesson learned. And now Kirby was named SEC Coach of the Year. Who was the ACC Coach of the Year?
How did Mac Brown? Was it Mac?
Mac Brown from UNC. I would think
no.
No. Wake Forest.
I said.
Mike Elko.
Yeah, Mike Elko, exactly, the Duke coach.
No way, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dude, he won 8 games with Duke.
That's true. Yeah, they've
Eight
really
in his
they really
first
stepped
year.
up. Stepped up.
Yes.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
stepped. They
man.
really stepped up this season. Very big improvement. After Cutcliffe went to work for the SEC now.
Duke winning 8 games and making a bowl. Holy
And they're playing
crap. What is
UCF.
going Is that who they're playing?
UCF, yep.
Okay. Crazy. Well, I mean, what the hell's going on in football?
This is a basketball school, and they what the hell happened?
They said Coach K is out of here. Not Duke shall still reign supreme somewhere. So
Football's
we'll
the
go
new
win
one.
8 games. Yeah.
Go win 8 games with Mike Elko. Boom. You see that video before the season of that Duke football player singing in he was singing in like he was showing off his opera singing voice. It was amazing.
I mean, when you have teams like Miami shit the bed like they did, it's a little easier for Duke to win 8 games.
I was still shocked at that game.
Well, I wasn't when I saw him commit 8 turnovers.
Yeah. And then when Van Dyke went down, I was like, this is not good.
Yep. Well, it by the end of the season, they didn't have a single original starting offensive lineman still healthy and playing. I mean, we played 3 quarterbacks in the Pitt game. They were so riddled with injuries, it wasn't even funny.
Wow.
And I mean, it's true what people say. Everybody's got injuries. Everybody's got to deal with it. Yeah, but Miami doesn't have the depth to be able to absorb that many injuries like some teams do.
Yeah, Georgia's been able to deal with them, especially like Nolan Smith this season.
Sure. When you've got bunches of top recruiting classes like that, it's a whole lot easier to absorb, that many injuries and still play at a high level.
Definitely.
It's like I tried telling Miami fans. Sure, on paper they've got a talented team, but with the constant coaching turnover, you negate that.
Definitely.
But I mean, you can't tell Miami fans shit. They're all hollering about Mario don't win 10 fucking games. They need to fire him. Like, whatever. Y'all are fun. Yeah, it's exactly why Miami's in the fucking position that it's in.
Fans keep overreacting.
And actually, I can't be mad at the fans for saying it. Because, I mean, fans say goofy shit. The problem is the people that actually listen to these motherfuckers.
I mean, Miami, I was saying before the season, I thought Miami could probably win like 9 games, maybe 8 games this season. I thought they were going to win like 8 games this season. There wasn't too high of expectations for Miami.
Yeah, I called 8 or 9.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
And I'm not saying that they didn't underperform because they absolutely did. But
no, they did.
I think the advantage of the good staff coming in, I think, was completely negated by the fact that, it's your 3rd head coach in 5 years.
Yeah, most certainly.
Big Tube.
What's up, Vic?
Go Dogs, my friend. I feel bad for him as a being a Falcons fan. He's been through a lot of pain.
Yeah, he's learned to cope with the pain, though. I mean, the Falcons are so terrible. He's now stooped to making videos about how bad Tampa's playing because he's tired of talking about how shitty his own team's playing.
And then they'll talk. At least the Falcons fans, all they'll do is just talk trash about the Saints and the Bucks. Speaking of the NFC South, the Panthers came up with a pretty big win yesterday over the Seahawks. Good win
they did.
Good win for Carolina.
But the Seahawks, look, I'm sorry, but the Seahawks without Russell Wilson, I mean, Really?
Gino's not too bad. And put some respect on Gino. He was a former Jet. I think he led the Jets to a game-winning drive against the Buccaneers back in 2013, where we kicked a field goal. I think we beat you guys by like 1 point. We went 3-1 against that division. Ballard's frozen.
Am I?
Yeah, on my. Oh, now you're back.
My computer's frozen up. Trying to get back.
I can still hear you.
Okay. At least you can hear me.
Oh.
So much for Ballard.
Yeah. That's what happens when you need to upgrade your computer, Ballard. He froze and he glitched out of the stream, Jacob. That's what happened to him. So now it's the Slim and Will show here until Ballard makes his return, which may not be for a while. Oh, he was coming back. Oh, there he is. There's our host.
This internet is dick. Anyway, that's all I got, guys. I think I'm gonna relax for a few hours. Chess and I are bringing back the show like together tonight, so I told him we can do it on his channel. So y'all go subscribe to TikTok Chess Hall, and we'll be on about 9 Eastern.
So 8 Central.
Yeah.
I
Slim.
Yeah, some just some said like a few words when you left.
Yeah.
But yeah, I appreciate having a recruiting discussion. I'm trying to gain more knowledge about recruiting because I try to get into it over the off season.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to pick up. I mean, as long as you understand, like, if you can get past the basics of it, I mean, you can understand it. I mean, basically, high school kids decide where they're going to college, and it could change. It might not change.
Yeah.
That's recruiting in a nutshell.
In December 22nd, there's a guy who I don't know. He has like a few picks. George is one of his picks. I'm not sure if Alabama is. I'll let you know about it.
Yeah.
All right. Take care, Ballard.
See you, man. I'm gonna get out of here. All right, we're gonna get out of here. Don't forget the Unprofessional Sports Show tonight with myself and TikTok Chess Hall. Love you guys. Jesus loves you. He's got a great plan for your life if you trust and believe in it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Y'all know what to do. Hit that thumbs up, subscribe, and we will see you next time. Ballard Sports Media. Check it out. Love y'all.